Look what you made. Look what you made. Look what you made. Look what you made me do.
What's good people? Thought-provoking podcast. Hey man, welcome everybody to the show. Like, share, and subscribe. You already know what I say. HBO special. Help a brother out, man. Don't take nothing. It's free. It's free. Hey man, we're gonna talk about having a purpose is important. It is very important for an individual to have a purpose in life. Possessing a driven intention or aim that gives your life meaning and direction, inspiring you to make a positive contribution and motivating you to pursue long-term goals. A lot of people don't like talking about this in parts of their life because some people feel like they're not fulfilling some type of purpose, or they're not doing the things that they feel like they should do with their life. If I can say it in another way, I'm gonna share some stuff about me. But before we get started, man, I like to say thank you to you guys out there that's been, giving me the 1 or 2 likes or 1 or 2 comments. But I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys have a good day, good week, good month, and an outstanding year. Purpose, man. We're gonna talk about this purpose thing. What drives you? What makes you do the things that you do on a day-to-day basis? Look, I'm gonna go back to when I kind of had to figure out this purpose thing that made me do what I had to do to put me in a particular position. Sometimes you have to refocus on a different purpose, because sometimes you can fulfill what you have done and you lose that zeal or that passion. Some people sit back and say you'll never lose that thing if you feel like it's part of your life. But at the same time, I'm gonna go back to the time I was kicked out of high school. Yes, I was kicked out of high school. I'm a high school dropout. But I would tell you, I am educated. I have a bachelor's, a couple of associates, and a ton of certificates. But those were different purposes that I had to meet because of me being kicked out of high school. I've always had a dream of being in the military. Since young. I was kicked out of high school when I was about, I want to say 15. And the moment I entered into high school, I said I needed to finish. There's a lot of people out there that know that I'm dyslexic. So it was kind of hard for me in school. Being kicked out of high school wasn't something that I did intentionally, but it was being in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's pretty much what that was. It was being in the wrong place at the wrong time and hanging around some not so good environments. I'm not going to say people, I'm going to say not so good environments, because as kids, we really don't know what's what until we get older. But I had a purpose to join in the military, at 15. And it was kind of hard for me to get back into another high school because, Chicago's back in, I want to say the 90s, because that's around the times I was kicked out in the 90s. They wasn't accepting other people's problems. I was real down on myself because the military was something that I just had to do. I had to be in the military. I had to do that thing. I was so driven to do that thing. Then I went to Job Corps. Job Corps accepted me when I was 18. It took me 3 years. Me being dyslexic, I want to say I was taking the GED test. At that time, I haven't started taking the ASVAB test until I went to Job Corps. From the age of, I'm going to say 15 to 18, I was taking the GED test. I don't know how many times a year, but they do give you a certain amount of times to take it a year. I studied, but my abilities never allowed me to step in what I had to do, which was, pass. But I was taking the test, went to Job Corps. I met with a recruiter. Because to be perfectly honest, even though I wanted to do it, I didn't know it was possible for me to do it, to meet a criteria for me to do it. But that recruiter made it possible for me to sit back and say, this is what I really, really want to do. Even though I had in my mind, I wanted to do it, because coming from particular type of neighborhoods, going to the military was like a no-go. You're going to go fight that. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole, but, that other person's war. But I always was so tuned in to the G.I. Joes and, Commando, of the Army shows, Army movies, Army cartoons. It didn't matter. I was into it. So my sole purpose at that time was to join. I'm going to say, when I met that recruiter, he put a fire in me and told me what I could do. He told me what I can do. He said, hey, I can get you in. A lot of people see those guys as, the bad guy when they walk up. But at the end of the day, he was a lifesaver to me because I had nothing. It was just me. Him giving me something that I really, really wanted was very important. So I can't remember this guy's name to save my life, and I wish I could go back and find him. He was a recruiter in Edinburgh, Indiana, not too far from Indianapolis. But I took from that time. I already sat back and said I was dyslexic. I had a purpose. And I had to meet whatever goal that I had to do at that moment. It was to get me out of what I was in. I want to sit back and say it took me from the age of 18 to the age of 25 to pass the ASVAB test to get into the military. Was it worthwhile? Yes, it was for me. Was it painful? It was very painful. Not knowing the direction or, at times not being fulfilled as far as passing the test. Because, it was times I felt broken. But if it was something that I felt passionate about, I had to keep pushing. That's why I'm telling you guys, if you feel like something's your purpose, you have to keep pushing regardless on how things look. And it looked very bad. It looked bad. Like, I was working a job making, I want to say $250 every other week. I was working at GNC, downtown Chicago. Every 2 weeks making $250. And most of that went to transportation. But I kept pushing. At the Job Corps, I had that job. But I kept pushing. I kept telling myself, you can do it. I got down on myself every time I failed that test. But this went on since the age of 18 to 20, like 7 years. From the age of 18 to 25. This went on. I'm telling you, if you have a passion or you feel like if it's something that fulfills your life, attack that thing with everything you got if you have the means. I had nothing. I had nobody to take care of. It was just me. I had a recruiter telling me to do it, and I had a man with an S on his chest driving me, which was my father. I thank that man every day, mentally. I may tell him once or twice a year, but he was one of those old school men. Like, he had my back. It was just me and him. He had my back. He'd tell me, hey, Joe. Yeah, my nickname is Junebug. Hey, Joe, I don't know what it is what we gonna do, but we gonna do something. I'm here because I see you doing what you gotta do in order to be in the place that you need to be. But you need to keep pushing. Everything will pan out the way that you want it to pan out. Don't listen to what other people say. Things are going to go exactly how you want it to go, as long as you want it. As long as I had that in my mind, as long as I knew that it was an individual sticking by me. Because everybody needs somebody during that moment of failing. I can't say it no other way. You will fail chasing your purpose. You will fail chasing your purpose. But if you have nothing to look forward to in life, what's your life mission? What are you doing? Is it just to live for the party? Is it just to talk about what they do? Is what they do have anything about what you're doing or who you're going to become? That's not purpose driven. Even if it's something as far as losing weight, it has to be a reason why you want to lose that weight. It can't be for somebody else's likes. Because I'm telling you, the majority of the people out there is going to fail. Nobody wants to talk about the dirt. Nobody wants to talk about that. But it'll get bad before it gets good. But do you have the fortitude to go through a little bit of pain, not even a little bit, a lot of pain, in order to experience a little bit of joy? When I say a little bit, it's a little bit of joy, because that pain always resurfaces. Because in the midst of you fulfilling your purpose, I'm telling you, something will pop up to set you back. Life is gonna life. Let it life. You don't have to let it do what it's gonna do, regardless on what it is. Let it do. Like, you might have people come in your life, people walk out your life. You're gonna lose. You're gonna go broke in the mix of chase. Especially when you chase money, you will go broke before you get rich. That is the most important thing I can say throughout all of this. You will lose your everlasting mind before you find yourself at peace with either succeeding or failing. A lot of people really don't understand that in life, because they just look at the success that an individual has and never really sits back and look at what they had to do in order to get to the place they needed to be. I'm telling you, there's a lot of tears behind that. A lot of people don't look at that. But hey, man, I'm urging you to just keep pushing. Keep driving. You know you. Get an individual in your corner that's going to cheer for you. That's going to tell you everything's going to be all right. That's going to tell you the truth. Yeah, we know this is going on, but just keep going. Just keep going. Yeah, we know it don't look like it's going in your favor at this moment, but just keep freaking going. Don't worry about those people succeeding. Turn off the freaking internet. You hear me? Turn off the freaking internet. We looking at sister such and such, or broham him, broham him, those dirty words. They doing all these great things and I'm just still stuck in, no. What's your process? Let's look at your process. It's good to admire others and what they do, but we not gonna spill out no jealousy. We gonna attack this thing like we achieved it, like we accomplished it, like we overcame it. You know you. Let's keep pushing on you. Can we do that? Let's not focus on somebody else. This is your purpose. And be perfectly honest with you, even though you got that person in your corner. You're the only person that's gonna feel a certain type of way about something that you love. We need to understand that first and foremost. This is for you. This ain't for no, even though other people will bask in your wins. They want to get close to your wins. But I'm here to sit back and tell you, this is your purpose. Your purpose. This ain't nobody else's purpose, man. I'm going to close out with a quote. Hey, once again, like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Having a purpose is important. Remember that in life, to keep you pursuing long-term things and know that purpose can change. I know I said I'm about to close out. I'm going to give you guys a quote. The process of life is not to be happy, but to be useful, to be noble, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived. Abraham Joshua. Amen. Thought-provoking podcast. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let's work out.